it's funny that Brother Indio mentions that he speaks of himself, and I guess that's why we're such good friends. It's because there's a lot of things that we both can identify with, and we've over the years we've shared a number of things with one another, and it makes it easier when you come to a person such as yourself, and you're able to relate.
Yeah.
You're able to relate and say, okay, this, that, and offer direction, and I think that's a big part of overcoming all these obstacles.
When you decided to get your life together, so to speak, with the Lord, did your friends, your homies think, yeah, man, what's he doing, man?
Yeah, well, at first, everybody thought it was a juke, jab, and connive.
Yeah.
Because that's what I used to do best, was juke, jab, and connive. Tell you what you want to hear, just to get what I needed to get or what I wanted. And there was a lot of friction to begin with, and I come from a very strong Catholic background.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of friction. Well, it was more viewed as a cult.
Yeah.
So to speak, but I guess the better part of it was when people started to realize the changes, the small changes that I didn't realize, and that's when I knew something was happening in my life.
Yeah, if they don't see the change, then they'll say two things. Well, he's changing, I don't want to be around him, or he's changing, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed this. He doesn't cuss no more, he's offering him a beer and he doesn't want it, and offering him other stuff and you don't want that either, So those are the changes that, that God allows us to go through. And I'm not saying that we don't get tempted again to fall that way, because a lot of us do. But I had just written right here where it says the grandfather's life, he's the seed, and it grows into the father's life, which a bush will grow out of that. And then it grows into the son's life, which the tree sprouts up, and the grandson, which grows into the fruit. And if the tree's bad, you're going to have bad fruit. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you've probably seen it, I've seen it, where you see a young man, hanging in the neighborhood, and you don't know him from nobody, and say, what, he looks like, or he acts like so-and-so.
Yeah.
And then you find out later he's related to them.
Yeah.
You know them by their fruit.
Yeah.
It's
funny that you bring that up, is because for my mom, my biological mom, there's 5 siblings, and we all suffer from some type of form of addiction, alcoholism.
Yeah.
And in doing that, my significant other, she had a conversation with my sister, and my sister, it's funny that you said that, my sister said we all have some part of him in us.
Yes.
Me being there, because we had the absent fathers. We had mom was busy out doing her thing. But it's funny that you bring that up, is because what I was taught, I taught down, my sisters, and they're mentally tough, just not emotionally equipped.
Yeah.
And lacking in other things. And so it's like looking at myself and saying, wow, what did I create here?
Exactly.
What did I create? I created a monster here, and the guilt and all the other stuff that come along with it. Brother Indio, but it's a daily struggle.
We're running in the neighborhood and doing things, and especially like the younger guys, they look up to you, and they see you do some stuff, like, man, I remember a lot of these young guys was like, man, I'm gonna be like you when I grow up. After I got saved, I used to tell them, no, I don't want you, stop saying that.
Yeah.
And then after a while I caught myself and I said, yeah, you know what? Say it now. Say it now that you want to end up like me. Like, no, I don't want that. You don't drink, you don't party, you don't mess around anymore. I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
But like it says, the fruit. What kind of fruit are we giving out? You hang around with people, and like they say, the company you keep, the name you carry.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather flock together. A bunch of knuckleheads over here. All that group is bad.
Yeah.
So you're labeled that. Just like a family, that family is 4th-generation gang members. In and out. One brother's coming in, the other one's going out. And even to the point where their father or grandfather is still locked up. And this one's barely starting, 18 years old, starting his prison life.
Yeah.
Where's your dad? Well, he's up in Soledad.
Yeah. See, for me, I've been fortunate enough that I've had the positive reinforcement from my family, meaning my dad's side, uncles, aunts, that have, you know, positive influences, you know what I mean, and support a lot of the decisions that I made when I've changed, you know, because they knew what I was like when I was out there in the neighborhood. It was nothing nice, you know what I mean? And I had that mentor that they talk about, and telling him, man, I look up to you. He was like my God, man.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? He was I used to call him a ghetto superstar.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I get letters from, you know, fortunately he's doing 25 to life, but I get them letters now where it tells me, hey man, stay out the neighborhood, teach better, da da da. So in doing that, you know, getting saved is giving me an opportunity to be that example to my family, you know, because I knew what I was like when I was out there was nothing nice. Like I said, you know, it's not something we brag about, it's just the experiences that we've shared. And they say, well, who better to share with it than somebody that's experienced it? You know, I ran with it hard till the wheels fell off. You know, that was
What scripture or do you remember when you just like, this is the one I'm going to hold on to, this is the one that, you know, God just, you know.
Jeremiah 29.
29:11.
That was the first time I ever opened up the book, man, and you know, I was going through some things, and you know, I had done time, and I always frowned upon them dudes that would walk the yard with the Bible. Oh, you're gonna find Jesus, not that you're behind walls. And I was, you know, was on the outs, and I was going through some things, and I just happened to open up on that, man, and it brought tears in my eyes. You know, because I said, man, this dude doesn't, you know, all the things that I've done, and this dude's still here. You know, I'm speaking about Christ. It just jumped out at me, crying from your heart. You know what I mean? And experiencing that thing, it's a wonderful thing, man.
Yeah, because they see us carrying the Bible and think that you're ranked out. This guy's a punk now, you know. And I tell these guys that I go into the youth authority Friday night. I was in there telling these guys, the baddest dudes that I hung around with, some bad dudes. Baddest dudes I know are in this book, you know. Like, just I'm down for mine. These dudes were down, or you know, I said this is their neighborhood, and they, you know, like you said earlier, till the wheels fell off, till the hubcaps fell off, you know. That Peter went as far as saying, you know, go ahead and crucify me, but upside down, because I'm not worthy to be hung up straight up like they did to Jesus. You know, that's heavy.
Yeah.
You know,
the heavier part too is the abstract Meshach and Abednego.
Yeah,
Them three dudes riding it and saying, okay, hey man, let's ride and doing that. You know what I mean? So I completely identify in some of the short stories. I have a 7-year-old and she likes to hear stories, so kind of tweak it a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's easy for her to understand and follow, and being able to answer them questions.
you know that, like I said, we need to start planting better fruit in these young men, you know, and direct them to where they want